They have the hard-hitting analysis.
I'm anti-injury, so maybe this won't work out.
Kyler's only playing one tight end this week, so that's probably going to help him out a lot.
They tell it like it is.
That's not what I needed, Grandma Nut.
All right, the hipster fantasy player.
I don't do anything.
Their listeners love them.
Found all your charts boring, to be frank. Caitlin was the star of the show.
They break down all the statistics.
20 points. That doesn't quite add up. Maybe he had 93.
This is the Snick Snack Sports Podcast.
Here we... All right, Snickers, help me out.
What's going on, all you sports fans out there getting ready for Thursday night football with my friend here, Nate? How are you doing today?
Doing excellent tonight, Nick. How are you?
Doing great.
Yeah, we got another packed show for you. We got Shane for his second episode of the season. We got a very special episode of Caitlin's Hot Takes, introducing you all to one of our good friends from outside the league. We got an exciting week that happened last week to talk about. So let's get into it. With our bets, we had an interesting bet last week, Nick. It was a 4-player bet. We did it new hotness tight end, snake draft style. What happened?
Yeah, you had Kate Otten, David Njoku, and I had Brock Bowers and Evan Ingram, and it was actually very close, 2v2 battle for the top. You had the number 1 and number 4 pick, and you had the number 1 and number 4 tight ends, and you ended up getting the catching out the win there by a point or so.
Yeah, it was just over a point, and we actually drafted perfectly. I think they went exactly in the order we drafted them. So maybe tight ends are getting predictable.
Yeah. Well, after your National Tight Ends Week, they're pretty predictable that they're gonna either goose or score like 7 points. Yeah. So.
But we got another themed bet, as we like to do this week. In the matchup between Kyle and I. We noticed there were 3 all-star LSU wide receivers. And this week, there is the chance that no one will score a point. Right now, I have 7 points. Nick has 2 points. And we each picked one of these 3 wide receivers.
Yeah, they all went to LSU, all did great stuff there. Jamar Chase obviously came out in 2021. Justin Jefferson came out as well. And they're both breaking each other's records back and forth. That's technically the best 2 wide receivers to be in the NFL at the start of the career. And who do you end up going with, Nate?
Yeah, I mean, I had to go with my guy. He's a new member of my team, Jamar Chase. Didn't have the best week last week, but I fully believe in the stack with Joe Burrow this week. And I'm excited to win, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jamar's playing right now. I got Justin Jefferson, my guy from last year, who's going to be going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the fun part about this bet is Malik Neighbors, who's going up against the Carolina Panthers in Germany. Set your lineups, guys. Neither of us win. I think that you should take a point off if you lose because you were so against them. But yeah.
I just wanted to go for my guy. But yeah, Malik very much could win this. And I think there are weeks where all of these guys have come out on top. Malik's obviously having a very good rookie season. And this week we had, let's take a look at the standings, I guess, next. Here we go. So, a lot of interesting things happened this week in terms of the standings because both our undefeated team and our all-defeated team got their first.
Yeah, reverse the curse there. Kyle got a loss to Ducky, and Katie ended up beating her husband, Matt, to move to 1-8 and 8-1 counter respectively.
Yeah, so impressed by both situations. I mean, Katie's team all of a sudden looks pretty good. We were saying before the show, like she has, if not the highest, one of the highest points projections on the week, which maybe we'll talk about briefly later. And meanwhile, Kyle's team still looks hot. I'm playing him this week. Very confident I'll beat him. But me and Nick down here in 8th and 9th, both still have a shot at the playoffs. This is not set in stone.
There's 3 locks at the top. It appears no one's actually officially clinched yet. I think Kyle probably would have if he won last week. But yeah, it's pretty close with a couple different matchups going. It's really funny that I just noticed that you're playing the recently defeated team. I'm playing the recently not defeated team.
Indeed.
that we're just talking about. And I think you're more confident than I am right now because Kitty team looking pretty good. But
Yeah, and I agreed with you. This is not the right time to play Katie. Um, and we can see that interestingly, we talked about there being some huge leaders before. Everyone started clumping up. It's a pretty narrow, actually dividing line. The wins and losses tell it differently, but we've got a bunch of teams in the 1,000 range.
yeah,
So I'm actually now, I mean, eighth place overall in the league, sixth place in points scored. So I'm in a pretty appropriate spot at this point. Can't complain. But looking at last week, what stood out to you, Nick?
yeah. Last week was a lot of fun. Obviously, we talked about those ones. In the toilet bowl, John edged out Shane to get back, get up to 3 wins, and Shane's still at 1, so he's barely ahead of Katie right now. Got win with Kenny. We got Carson who lost. We were talking about that last week. Who's a big thing for those trying to sneak back into the playoffs is getting Carson to fall out, getting maybe Nick Adams to fall out here. Kyler's all of a sudden in 7th place ahead of you. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun, just tracking these things.
Yeah, we had Kyler on the show last week. He was talking up his team, and his team had the best week of the season and the best team of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So he, even with Chris Olave getting knocked out of the game after, only 2 points, the team came through like he said it would. Beat his brother, who also did very well.
Yeah, losing at 120 is kind of rough. But that just means Carson's not going to be an easy out to get out of the playoffs here.
Yeah. My team, I would say in general, I was paying close attention to the Monday night game because it for me was winning by 3 points. And it was Kareem Hunt versus mid-tier Knicks Baker Mayfield. Going into the end of the game, we were basically tied. At the last second, Baker threw a touchdown, got ahead of us, took us into overtime. Chiefs win the coin toss. All of a sudden, Chiefs have a chance to score. If Kareem Hunt gets a touchdown, that's the only reason I'm still in this league, I feel like.
Mm.
But there was a lot of teams were really relying on the Monday night game. John's team did, as you said. I think Katie's team was, although hers was a more likely victory. I think there might have been some chance that you were going to come out on top with that game, Nick.
Yeah, no, I definitely had a chance to come out on top going into Sunday Night Football. Had a couple players score a lot on my bench, which kind of stank. But yeah, I'm surprised you're not calling out your best player from last week of the Chargers defense. And it's not technically the highest score, but projected 6 points and got 20. It's pretty good.
Yeah, the Chargers defense has been a hell of a pickup for the 2 weeks I've had them. And very underrated defense this year. But what's going on in the NFL at large?
Yeah, there's a couple big injuries, obviously. Dak Prescott tore his hamstring right off the bone there. Going to be out for a few weeks. Trevor Lawrence going to be out for a few weeks with a shoulder injury. Got Chris Olave out. Like I said, big concussion. He's probably not going to be back for, I'd say, a decent amount of time, seeing as it's his 7th concussion in 3 years or something like that. Go back to college. But big news in the Saints still is Dennis Allen, coach there, who notably hates all of his players, got fired, and in an act of spite on the way out, put his least favorite player on the team, Kendra Miller, back onto IR, just because he's not even injured. It's just a spite move there. And a little bit of news outside of the league is everyone's favorite competitive breakdancer Ray Gunn from the Olympics has officially retired from the sport after winning everyone's hearts. And wish her all the best.
Of course, yeah, I would love to see Ray Gunn compete again, although nothing beats the first time when you see that kind of talent on the court or whatever, the floor. But yeah, congratulations to obviously a decorated career for Ray Gunn, best in Oceania. So now before we have our esteemed guest on the show, we have a quick word from today's sponsor.
Guys, are the fantasy football losses getting you down? Spending your nights crying alone in bed? Do you have a Wendell Smallwood when you want a Mecole Hardman? Is your lady asking for the Cam Dicker but you just can't split our uprights? I think it's time for your Danny Woodhead to score you a win with D-Line. D-Line is a patent-pending drug used to give men just what they need to perform in bed. Just a quick bump of this potent stuff is all it takes. Brett Favre has said, D-Line gives me the confidence I need when texting the ladies to know I can seal the deal. Ben Roethlisberger praises D-Line as just what I need when the going gets tough. The FDA wrote, cease and desist. D-Line can be bought wherever off-brand Slurpees and cigarettes to minors are sold. So if you need to put the D back in your dick buckus and get back to penetrating her hog mollies, get D-Line.
Oh, thank you, D-Line. A very loyal sponsor as well. So we all appreciate what you do. Welcome, Shane. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. We were just hearing some of your marketing work. Are you still a D-Line user?
Every day. I don't think I can get out of bed without it.
Is that because you need three legs?
It helps.
I was going to say sometimes it's harder to get out of bed with it, but yeah.
Well, we all appreciate the work they do at D-Line, as I had just said. But now, unfortunately, D-Line has not helped your team this year. What's going on there?
Well, we don't have defensive players anymore, so the D-line wouldn't do all that much for me. But we're in a rebuilding year. It's fine. Just getting some draft capital, building some character of the young players on the team, and we'll get ready for the next couple of years.
Now, remind me, which draft capital have you gained this year?
Many picks. Many picks.
Which one specifically? I guess I'm just having a hard time remembering.
Well, it's a concept of a pick. You see.
Yes. Speaking of the concept of a pick, let me give you some concept of advice. Trevor Lawrence isn't playing this week, so you might want to put Flackman in.
I was planning on putting Flacco in anyways.
No, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, that was some strong advice concept there, Nick. So thank you. But yeah, if we look ahead to your matchup, which is here somewhere, Jesus wept. There is obviously these projections aren't going to be accurate because of the Trevor Lawrence thing, Shane. But who is letting your team down this year? That's what I want to know.
Who's letting my team down? Me. Ultimately, as the owner, it falls on me. I can't blame any of our players. They're going out and putting in all their effort. It just hasn't been enough this year. So I'm gonna have to look in a mirror and see if I need to sell the team or not.
Why don't you take the Jim Harbaugh approach there, not the Dennis Allen approach? I like it.
Yeah, I guess just for example, Elijah Moore has the reputation maybe being a little bit of a life sucker in the locker room, and I see that he's in your locker room. How is he? Has he turned that around this year?
The man needs multiple chances, Nate. He's played for some bad teams, the Jets, the Browns. Wouldn't you be a life sucker if you were on those teams?
Yeah, Jesus wept. That's the team that I remember that he played on. But yeah, no, I agree. He's had a hard go of it. And now, do you stand a chance against the number 2 team, AA?
Any given Sunday, Nate. Any given Sunday. He's in second. I'm in 11th. 2 plus 11 equals 13. You know what they say. Any Friday the 13th.
Someone could get murdered.
Yeah. Probably Brian Robinson Jr.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
hopefully not. He
Too
has
soon. Too soon.
I was gonna say that if Kenny were to get murdered, it may not help you too much because he's already said his lineup. But
did you know Chuba Hubbard just got a big contract?
You did?
So now that he has the money, no reason to play. Deshaun Watson style.
Yeah. Same day that Jonathan Brooks got taken off of the IR here.
So expect him to fall off the globe.
yeah, what do you think about Puka getting back on the field after brutally punching somebody in the face last week?
See, that's the type of character we do not like on our team. It's unfortunate that other league owners accept that type of behavior, but over at Jesus Wept, We do not.
He
No,
also has Jordan Addison on his team, who we know likes to drive a little bit too fast.
Mm-hmm. Maybe after a couple beverages.
Mm.
hmm And we know that he has Xavier Worthy on his team who likes to run a little bit too fast. So kind of a theme. Um, so what do you think about Isaiah Likely, your star waiver pickup, being out this week?
I mean, it's likely that he won't be playing, so it's
He's actually 100% guaranteed that he's not going to be playing. The game actually started already.
you know, I never like to say never, but I'd say it's likely. TJ been sitting on my IR spot for a while, so now it's his time to repay.
Yeah.
I was giving him good money to sit there on the bench and not do anything. So
Yeah, no, definitely. He's back in the lineup, and he's going to be a lot of fun this week. I got my guy back in the lineup too, off IR. But so do you think that's going to help turn your season around a little bit? You still have a couple percentage points chance of making the playoffs.
yeah, I think I have a good shot. Late run rookies usually play a lot better in the second half of the year.
Glad. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and you had come onto the show a few weeks ago, Shane, with a very bold theory, which is that the team that's winning on Thursday night is the team that wins the week. That means that Deontay Johnson just has to beat Justin Tucker. What do you think your chances there?
Considering Justin Tucker has not been very good this year, I think he's been practicing his opera more than his kicking. Maybe Deontay will get a few balls thrown his way just to get him into the swing of things on the new team.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hope so. Now, what would you estimate is the percentage of the time that your rule of thumb is accurate?
I'd say 7.
7%?
7. I don't like to put units on things, Nate. They're really restricted.
Yeah, 7 kilometers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I ran the numbers, Shane, and the team that's winning on Thursday night wins less than half the time in our league this year.
Can I see your sources?
The source is me looking it up.
You have to show your work.
If I did, you would just see a bunch of check marks in a piece of paper.
I would like to see that.
I would show it to you if I actually did that, but I didn't. One of these days I will, though.
I'll believe my theory until you can show your work correctly, Nate.
Fair enough. Now, Nick, what matchup are you looking at this week?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of fun ones, hot ones here, but I'm really just focused on my own, honestly, right now. I know I'm up 1-0 against Katie right now, but looking at her team are K-Dot and Devontae, Tyreek Smith Hill is probably the worst player on the team, and they're looking pretty intimidating right now. My revolving door at wide receiver with DK out and Keon Coleman out. It's gonna be a fun challenge to get up the hill here and beat the 1-18.
Yeah, I was, when we were looking at this, I was shocked how high her projected score is. And her team is looking fierce this week, as you said. Who brings your team to victory, Snickers?
As it has been for several weeks this year. I mean, Jaden's been killing it. He's like the number 3 quarterback. He's been destroying every team. The play against the Bears was the best thing I've seen all year, but it has to be my guy, Christian McCaffrey, coming into Tampa Bay, scoring 17 points. He has a guarantee from DraftKings basically to score a touchdown. He's minus 250 or something like that. And he's going to be doing well. Even if he's on a pitch count, he's still going to score at least 15 points. And that's what I'm looking for right now. And he'll start scoring his 20s starting next week.
And does anyone on your bench have a chance to make a last minute move into your lineup?
Absolutely. My flex is very open right now. Taysom's in there right now. I just took Pity City out. Raheem's going to be looking good. Tyler has a pretty good chance to score in New Orleans. So it's all about who I think is going to get the touchdowns there.
It's good to stay flexible at that position.
That's also our loss last week when I took someone out and I could have played Taysom Hill or played someone else and beat Kenny. But It's not all about the wins and losses here, right?
It kind of is, but good to have a good attitude about it. Now, Shane, who wins this matchup in your mind?
Bold prediction is Tyrone Tracy will get more points than every single person in this matchup and bringing Katie to victory.
Hmm. Even if he's never even been to Germany before, how's he going to score if he doesn't know which direction the end zone's in?
He just has to look north. Up.
Yeah, Compass will solve that problem, Nick.
Okay. Yeah.
Although I think they're actually in London, so I think they still can see the North Star there.
I think they're actually in Munich, but yeah.
Um, the world will let us know. But the matchup that I wanted to highlight this week is the only matchup this week between two playoff teams. Uh, Matt's team versus Carson's team.
Yeah.
And you said it last week, Nick. You do not like Matt's team. And this week his lineup is looking pretty rough.
The buys are definitely hitting them there. With Kenneth Walker, Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs all on buy, starting Rico Dowdle and Singletary. But I think he's got a chance against Carson. But we were just talking Carson up how he lost with 120 points last week. It was rough, and get sticky. He's already getting a couple points so far. I'd say that Carson probably has to win, especially the Niners coming back reinvigorated with Christian McCaffrey. You know they have so many Niners players on this team.
Yeah. And I was looking at just the points scored board earlier this week, and I was shocked to find out that Garrett Wilson is the wide receiver 3 on the season. It was like 2 weeks ago that everyone was disappointed in how bad he was.
He is bad, but yeah.
Apparently not.
Scoring a couple of touchdowns the past few games, so it's boosted his numbers quite a bit.
All it takes is a couple touchdowns to pass every wide receiver in the league besides Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I don't think he was having as bad of a season as people were thinking, at least fantasy wise. I think that's more real football wise.
Yeah, he's been a PPR guy his whole career, obviously. But
Yeah. I had in my head that he was having a bad season, and maybe the translation to real football hasn't quite been there, but still it's hard to say that when I guess I scored a lot of touchdowns is really the idea. But yeah, I agree with you, Nick, that probably Carson's taking this one. This is the right week to be playing Matt's, and it's the wrong week to be playing Katie. Matt's still reeling from losing to Katie when she was all defeated. So now let's look at the offer report quickly here. Not a lot going on the waiver wires, but Quentin Johnson, there's a mini fight broke out. Kenny took it with $4. I've had him on my team off and on. Tried to get him back with $3. Not too upset that I didn't get him. You didn't get him either, Nick.
No, but Kenny did drop his second kicker. So good for him. He only has one kicker on his team right now then, if I'm looking at that correctly.
Yeah. And then I thought that people might be interested in Khalil Herbert. He's basically taking Zach Moss's job now that Zach Moss has to deal with a neck injury. That was too bad to hear. Hopefully Zach's all right. Never want to hear about neck injuries. But Kenny did pick up 2 tight ends too.
Mm-hmm. 2 tight ends at $2 a piece.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, he didn't get the second one.
He didn't get Johnny. Matt got him the next day. It looks like, but yeah, not much to talk about here. It doesn't look like. We'll see how it goes next week.
But I actually did want to ask you briefly, Shane. So you were the one who dropped Chase Brown, and everybody wanted him. Why did you drop that guy?
Because everyone knows Charlie Brown's a terrible kicker. All right, and I was sick of him missing the ball. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. Enough was enough.
But he does not kick on his team.
Well, that's not what I was told.
He also already has a touchdown today.
He scored the touchdown. Hopefully, it was a passing touchdown. But yeah, no, it was not. Too bad. Well, now I know everyone has been waiting since there are no trades this week, but we have the pleasure of having Caitlin's hot takes back this week with an extra special version of her segments. And so we will welcome Caitlin and her guests to the show. So, Caitlin, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
How are you doing tonight?
Good. I see Shane is here as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was our special guest now, and this is your segment, Caitlin's Hot Takes, and you have a special guest.
Yeah, Monty, introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Mani. First time listener, first time caller. Happy to be here.
And it seems like a little bit of a suck up. What's that behind you?
You like it?
We love it. I don't know where you got it if you're a first time watcher, but we're excited to hear your takes on Caitlin's Hot Takes. She's known for her blistering, lukewarm takes, and we're excited to see what you have to add to that.
Yeah.
So what are you guys talking about tonight?
Well, we just wanted to talk about how in a few episodes prior you referred to me as your roommate.
And is that not true?
I mean, Monty, what do you think?
See, I'm on Nate's side with this one. Dan and I, we call each other roommates all the time. But you gotta know your audience, I think. See, when I make this joke to my family, they take everything I say very seriously. So then I have to like spend 5 minutes explaining why she's more than just my roommate. But in the right context, I think it's funny.
I see. I said it because I don't see her any more than my roommate.
Hot take.
Yeah, I think this is Nate's hot takes.
Yeah, but Caitlin, what's your take on roommate gate here?
I mean, if Nate wants to just be roommates, that's fine. I can start seeing like other people in that case.
I mean, that'd be against the roommate contract, but
I don't think so. I mean, Pat Patriot's single, right, Nick?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
overnight guests. That's all.
But yeah, Monty and I were discussing whether Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were roommates, and we don't believe they are. They have many homes.
I would definitely, I think, agree with that. I think Taylor sleeps in her plane, and Trav, sleeps in the bins behind his house like he has done for the last couple of years.
See, I don't think that Kelsey would call Taylor Swift a roommate because he's very sweet, but I do have some evidence to back that up. So in November 2023, in his New Heights podcast, Travis Kelce called his girlfriend Taylor Swift Tay, which was a very big deal to many Swiftie fans out there. And then fast forward 1 year, during a September 3rd interview on The Rich Eisen Show, Travis Kelce referred to her as Tay Tay. So if my math is correct, by this time next year, Travis Kelce will have called Taylor Swift Tay Tay Tay.
Wow.
Yeah, and he also refers to her as baby and sweetie, per my research, but not as roommate.
Wow.
They may refer to each other as neighbors, though, or long distance roommates, because they do live far away.
Nice. Yeah, sometimes not even in the same day. But my research on the Tay thing there is Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. He's called him Tay. He's called him Tay Tay before. Do you think Aaron Rodgers loved Devontae Adams more or less than Taylor and Travis love each other?
That's a tough question.
It is.
It's a tough question because Caitlin doesn't know who Devontae Adams is.
I don't know exactly who the person besides Aaron Rodgers is. I don't like Aaron Rodgers very much.
Or do you think it's possible that Tay Tay is just what people are meant to call each other when they're roommates?
Like instead of roommate, you just call each other Tay Tay?
Instead of any name, just call each other Tay Tay. Yeah.
Was that him signaling that he has a new roommate in Devontae Adams? What do you think, Tay Tay?
I'm not responding to that. We were also talking about apparently Travis Kelce is building a pretty impressive man cave in his basement. Do you think roommates should be allowed? Female roommates?
I mean, female roommates are sometimes allowed in my man cave, but um, only if they respect the cave.
What
Do
does
you
that
respect the
mean?
cave though?
I mean,
Um,
yeah, what does that mean?
it means
No femininity allowed.
it's not an anti-femininity space at all, Shane. You've been in the cave, and really, it just obligates to be interested in watching a football game, perhaps, or maybe a footy game.
Mm.
And we eat ice cream out of the container in this space.
Mm.
It says that Travis Kelce's man cave will have a golf simulator. Nate, would you rather have that in your man cave or your hand-me-down foosball table?
My hand-me-down football table because it's already there. The man cave doesn't change. That's rule number one.
I see.
Um, now, speaking of roommates, how was your roommate, Shane?
That was my roommate.
Yeah.
Good. She's good.
And do you call her Tay Tay? Testing a theory here about what Tay Tay might mean.
I've never referred to my roommate as Tay Tay before.
Will you though?
But you will now.
Yeah.
Nick, do you call John Tay Tay?
I will
Frequent.
say that to him as soon as he walks in the door.
Do you think he'll get it?
No, because he doesn't watch this.
Well, I mean, Caitlin, you have to remember, John is 30 years old. He is not up on the latest lingo.
I see. So do you think Travis is going to let Taylor into his man cave?
I think he's already let her into his man cave, quote unquote, a couple times. But
Well, it hasn't been built yet.
It's a very nice property though. It goes for $6.9 million. It's got a full bar and everything.
nice.
Nice.
The man cave by
Thanks,
itself
James.
goes for 6.9.
No, that's the whole house, but like to give like frame of reference though, like it does have that whole golf simulator and like a full bar.
Is it in Missouri though?
Kansas,
Yeah,
I
can
think.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
that's
3.5 acre lot.
Well,
It's
half
pretty-
acre is it's big, but it's not Mahomes big. Mahomes has like a golf course on his land.
I think he has a putting green at least. I'm looking at the photos.
No, I think it's a
Maybe.
whole golf hole.
But Travis doesn't have Mahomes money.
Mm.
He's not, I mean, he's not, I guess it's not that close, but he has a lot of money.
Yeah, but he's not on all the State Farm commercials.
Mhm.
No, which is everyone's thankful for that.
He's on, wait, what, he does a lot of commercials. He must have been on State Farm sometimes.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
he's on with Reed, Travis, and Patrick
Mm.
going together.
Mm.
Didn't he get like 20 million from Pfizer? Like alone for that commercial.
to wear the two Band-Aids at once.
Yes.
That's so funny. Other news that Nate and I broke earlier during the podcast. I don't know. I want to get everyone else's opinion on this. Is world famous breakdancer Ray Gunn just retired today.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
that was
That-
sad news.
So that was very interesting because she just posted like a week ago saying that she will challenge anyone for like $10,000 reward if they think that they are better than her. And then literally like 1 week later, she's like, I'm done. So I think that someone challenged her and was better than her. And she was like, I'm not gonna do this all over again.
Yeah.
Who do you think that person is?
I don't know. It could have been Nate.
I mean, there are a
That's
lot of
what
people that are better at breakdancing than Ray Gun. I'm not one of those people. Because I'm in like the first percentile of breakdancers. But
Are we gonna have a breakdance challenge next episode to see who's the
that could
best?
be an idea for who loses the bet. You have to go
Yeah.
out and breakdance.
Too bad Nate can't spin more than like 120 degrees at a time.
That is something my ears just won't let me do it.
That's one of the funniest things that we're seeing in going back 10, 15 years now, when Nate tried to jump and do a 360 and he made it about 90 degrees and he just couldn't jump and spin.
Can you not do a full spin?
I haven't tried in years, but it was hard enough when everyone made fun of me the first time.
Can you try it now?
Not in this space because I'm attached to computer-based headphones. I also can't do monkey bars though. So it's one of those things. I think they go together.
I don't know how those relate at all.
Nate, we've been roommates for a very long time now, and I didn't know either of these facts about you.
That's great,
It's
Tay
been almost 10 years.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
need to take you to the Jordan Jackson, do some monkey bars, do some playground activities, and show you what Nate's all about.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Now, before we close out the show, do you, Caitlin and Monty, have anything else you'd like to share with our viewers, football or otherwise?
I don't know. I think Travis Kelce's man cave will be better than yours. That's my hot take.
If Taylor has anything to say about it, it won't be. But
I got a letter in the mail today for an urgent safety recall. I have a 2011 Toyota Corolla, and they just today announced that there was a recall. Was that 13 years ago? Should I be concerned?
I would be
think you're fine.
concerned that you may have already been injured.
Luckily, I have not.
No, that's well, hopefully that's not a bad thing, as in they'll give you something for that. But
Yeah, there was a problem with the airbags deploying apparently. So
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, appreciate your hot take there, Monty.
thank you.
You know how we feel about safety, right, Shane? We're all about it.
Yeah, we're a pro safety podcast.
I'm anti-injury.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, I think Nate's pro injury.
I am
But
not.
that's a hot take for another day.
For another day, indeed, Tay. So we have to close out the show, but thank you all for joining us this week, and we'll see you all next week.